What's up guys, this is Zero In Diagnostics here. So we're doing a PPI on this beautiful Audi SQ5 2021. And the biggest problem you're gonna have with this, I'm gonna tell you guys why a $2 part can send you into $4 grand into repairs on this girl. So starting off on this, and you wanna come over and zoom in a little bit. So this car is the really nice gray color. I don't remember the exact correlation of the paint code, but a problem that I see right off the bat, it is a satin PPF. So my worry with wraps, PPFs, anything like that, especially when they're done on the full car, has it been in a collision? Does it have anything hiding underneath? Does it have a collision that wasn't reported on the Carfax? So that's something you guys got to look into. Thankfully, this is the satin, just an overlay, so we can't actually see the stock paint underneath it. It isn't an actual color changing wrap, but my worry with wraps on any cars I'm looking at are what's underneath, because you never know what's actually underneath, what they're covering up, if there's any dents, damages. So this one, thankfully, we can actually look at, but I can't actually have the capability of doing a whole clear coat thickness and paint thickness on the entire vehicle. Just the edges where the PPF's not gonna be. That'll give us a good idea if it is stock paint or if it has been redone, but that is a problem you guys always wanna look into. Another thing to look at, this front headlight is also wrapped with the smoke wrap. My worry on those, on most vehicles, these do have the LED headlights, so they don't get a lot of temperature like normal cars, but on normal cars, when you do have that wrap over the headlight, a lot of the times that will melt into the headlight. So if you have it wrapped like that, that can be a big concern where that headlight's never gonna look good again. It is completely ruined. This one, we're gonna hope for that. I will inform the customer about that before purchasing, but that's something to note. So something I noticed right out the gate, it does have an aftermarket cover, and it does look like underneath is the stock actual piece for the mirror. So hopefully that is intact, but we would have to remove this to know if the mirror's ever been damaged. But you can see it is cracking all over the place on that carbon fiber. Another thing, we got dark tint on the windshield. Dark tint, depending on your state, I would prefer it to have it nice dark tinted like this. Some states don't require it. In Utah, where we are right now, we're in South Jordan, Utah, we do require that, but you can have a doctor's note or whatever, but a lot of places do not require the tint and they don't require safety. So in Utah, you can get away with that unless you get pulled over. We got nice stand, so being in Utah for skiing, that is great to have a snowboard or some skis locked up on top of there. It does have the keyless entry. So this car does have the stock style wheels, but they have been powder coated with a little gold inlay on them. So it looks really nice, but you can even tell after the detail, there are spots where it gets dirty really quick, and I'm assuming this car was recently detailed. So just knowing that you have glitter or sparkles in your wheels, that could be a major problem for you if you like your wheels looking clean. It does look super beautiful on this car. So body wise on this car, we're looking pretty clean. Got a few little nicks in the PPF. That one didn't go through to the paint. Over here definitely did. So we got a little scratch in the PPF, goes all the way through to the paint. But body wise, body lines are all lining up. Everything's looking clean all around the vehicle. I do not think this thing has ever been in any collisions or crashes. Something to notice on a lot of these, the keyless entry does not work properly and does have some problems. And that is not PPF, so you got some nicks on the doors, probably for some rings or something. Other side mirror does have quite a few cracks on it, quite a few issues there. Some of the trim isn't quite lining up how it should. That's probably just because it got pulled off to do the PPF originally. But overall, externally wise, body wise, this vehicle is in very good condition. It is really clean. Aside from not knowing exactly what's going on with the PPF, it looks like it's a very clean vehicle. Guys, so on this vehicle specifically, with that V6 with the hot V turbo on it, they do have a big issue. And if you saw the thumbnail, you know that these can have a $2 part that'll cause a catastrophic multiple thousands of dollars issue. So the water pump on this has a diaphragm in between it where there is a small rubber seal in between it, and if that $2 seal goes bad, it will pull vacuum, the coolant, into the vacuum system. It'll go to the turbo wastegate, go through a bunch of solenoid sensors, and you basically get coolant all through your system. So quick check to know if you have one of those issues. If you have one, your coolant is going to start going down. Audi's check is apply vacuum to that diaphragm, see if it has a vacuum leak, see if you're pulling coolant through. Now they do have the new versions. Audi does have an updated part with a different bolt pattern on it, so you can check it on your own. If you can check on the front and get a visual on that water pump, it's not super easy to see on the front of the engine, but with a scope you can look down there really easy and see if you do have the updated part. This one does have the updated part. It has been replaced by Audi while it was under warranty still, so we are good there. This one's not going to have an issue with that, and they do typically start to throw under boost codes And so if you have that underboost code, definitely get that taken care of sooner than later, because once that coolant goes through your whole system, starts eating up solenoids, you get underboost in your turbo because the wastegate can't actuate properly, you can have a lot of problems. So engine wise, mechanically wise, this car looks really clean. I mean, down under, no oil leaks underneath. I do see on the inlet, if you see down there on the inlet, there is a little bit of oil coming down on the actual intake side because it is the hot V. So the turbo sits in the center of this engine. So I'll pop that cover off in a second and show you guys how that works. But there is a little bit of oil on the inlet after the turbo, so on your intake manifold down there. So that is a concern. We'll look into that. But overall, these are a lot more reliable than the old styles where you had common timing chain issues. It is recommended on every single one of these. I will always go ahead and cold start one of these. If I'm doing a PPI on anything with a timing chain like this, a lot of those tensioners, once the oil pressure drops overnight and the engine gets cold, you will have the tensioner release pressure and you'll have a clatter on cold start initially. So you've got to make sure you are always cold starting these and seeing what's going on. A little windy out in Utah right now, got leaves all over the place. But yeah, we'll look into it and go on from there. So on this car, we got the turbo right here up in the center. So a nice thing about that is a lot more to access, and you have a lot more visuals on all the stuff going on your combustion side of stuff for the turbo. So you see, it goes straight from the heads on both sides right into the turbocharger, so you get really quick boosts with these. And you can also see if any of your vacuum lines are crusty, broken, you got any leaks anywhere. Right up here, it gives you a lot more visuals than the old styles of these. So it is a lot more reliable than the old styles, but they do have their problems that we'll go over. We're here inside the interior of the car. So it does have the beautiful digital display, red stitching, red seats. A problem you do want to look at if you do have the color center consoles, this one is faded pretty heavily. So if you can see, there is color discoloration all over it. So these do get more of a paint and soak over an actual deep dye like a lot of vehicles do on these Audis. So they do rub off quite a bit. You can even see on the corner of the seats, they are worn into pretty decently. So you do want to watch out for that if you're getting the colored seats on these vehicles. But it does have the carbon fiber package, red stitching all around. It is pretty loaded. You do have a lot of options in this vehicle. That windshield is a little darker than preferred, but it still looks really, really good from the outside. So interior wise, we look good. We'll be checking all the buttons, check every single function in the entire vehicle, check over all the mirrors, everything throughout the whole car. We'll check every single setting, make sure all the windows roll up, everything's auto clicking, make sure we're all good there. So we'll go over everything and report back. Okay, so we're in the back seat. That seat is in my exact seating position. Still have a good amount of room. It's pretty good. I am 6'2", so I fit back here pretty comfortably. So we do have the dual climate control. I will test all these functions down to cold, all the way to hot, make sure everything operates. We do have the dual charging ports, and I will be checking all of these, making sure they're charging on all of those ports. A few notes on the rear. Do have some scuffing on the back seats, few nail marks here and there. I do assume that the previous owner did have dogs, because even after the detail, there is quite a bit of dog hair and stuff internally. Does look like something sticky was up on the door right here at some point, so might be able to get that out with the detail, but as of now I'm not too sure. Is a little bit of stuff on the windshield or on the rear view window, but moonroof looks good. The headliner, everything looks in line, so none of these lines have been popped out, so I don't assume it's had any interior work. So all the trim pieces look like they are lined up very, very well. Nothing's popped out, nothing's really misaligned back here, so we're looking pretty good. A good note back here, you can raise and lower the car with that suspension on those buttons. So you can just go ahead and press those. Car will lower down about 2 inches or so, kind of help you load stuff in, raise it up. That is operating. The vehicle is raising and lowering. You can release your seats from back here. It does not have the little cover, so we can see if the dealership has the cover that mounts across from side to side to kind of slide and keep your cargo hidden. This car does have pretty dark tint on it, so that might not be a huge concern for the customer buying it. Does have the spare tire intact. Look like some jumper cables are left in there, and it does have the stock sub. So the subwoofer is right here mounted in the rear wheel, which is a pretty cool feature to just have that in there. And looks like all the equipment is still left back there, so looking pretty good back here too. Also, all the body gaps, doesn't look like any of these have been adjusted or ever have any paint marks on them, so I don't think the rear has had any collisions. I mean, none of the gaps or anything, everything is OEM, none of the bolts have paint marks on them. Everything is fitting perfectly. You can kind of see where the PPF is starting to peel up a little bit on the few spots around the car. But overall, it looks like it has not had any collisions. It's a very clean vehicle. So we got it, vehicle up in the air. We were checking all the suspension stuff, everything underneath. So right off the bat, get an angle. That little bushing right there, you can see, that is completely cracked. So upper control arm bushings and lower on these Audis are very, very common. Also on a lot of cars. So those are commonly cracked. And that one is actually almost split all the way through. So can't get a good camera angle of the backside, but on the backside, that bushing is split almost completely through. This side is starting to crack, not quite as bad. So that is something you definitely want to be looking into. Another note, if the vehicle is connected with air ride, which this girl is, make sure, on some vehicles require it, some don't. Make sure you research your specific vehicle to put it in a lift mode, because you can damage the air struts significantly because the vehicle is trying to raise and lower as it's up in the air, and it's just going to be trying to decrease air. But other than that, we look pretty good on this side. You do want to do a shakedown on every tire, so make sure side to side, up and down. You don't have any excess play on the wheels, on all four wheels. That is very important to do. Also up here, that control arm bushing, let me dim that a little bit. You see that front control arm bushing on the front left for your lower control arm is also cracking very heavily. So not a major safety concern yet, but that will need to be noted for negotiations on this vehicle. And it looks like both sides are starting to crack. The outer's a little less than the inner, but the inner is cracked pretty significantly. Other bushings on this one do look pretty solid. You're starting to have a little bit of play on your strut mount on that control arm, but not a major concern yet. It is just a note for now. Okay guys, so under here, just quick notes. Nothing I found major on this vehicle, but you always want to check all of those guys. Make sure you don't have any cracks in any of your bushings. Make sure your airbags look like they're in place properly. Tire tread wear is very important on these cars, because once any of those lateral links or any of your mounts start going out, the first issue you are going to have is they are going to start wearing your tires, because your alignment's going to go off rapidly. But underneath looks super solid, no scrapes on the exhaust, no major things, no oil leaks, any mechanical stuff up front. We're looking pretty good overall. Just a couple of issues I'll report back to the customer and let them know, and other than that, this vehicle looks pretty clean. Okay, so guys, on the front right axle, you see right there, that axle is wet all the way up into the diff. So I'll see if I can get a better angle and show it to you guys if I can under the skid plate once that's off. But that axle seal is leaking on the front left. So we got grease building up all around there. Problem with that is that slow leak will become a bigger and bigger leak, and then eventually your front diff is going to run out of fluid, and then you have a major problem. So keep an eye out for those. So we're on the road test on the SQ5 right now. So it drives really nice. They do drive significantly better than the Tiguan's actually. I was talking some crap, but something you want to make sure you always go under, test all your drive modes. Make sure you select through all your different drive modes. Make sure your electronic struts are actuating properly. Let it raise up and do all of its different things. ESP comes off in your off-road mode. Make sure all that stuff's functioning. It does not have all of the self-driving functions that these can have for the ADAS features. So the driver assist stuff, some of it is missing on this car. So depending on the model you're looking at, you do want to, if you want all that self-driving stuff like these do have to offer, then do make sure your package that you're getting does offer all of that. But overall, really good car, drives really smooth. So on these guys, this does not have the dual clutch. It does have a torque converter. So you don't want to make sure it's shifting through all your gears. You got all your proper shifts. Everything is operating properly. So that is a big concern with a lot of people on dual clutch systems. They did change the transmissions on the, I believe, 19 and up on these. So they are significantly more reliable than they used to be. Pretty good exhaust for a stock exhaust. It does have a little bit of crackles, and paddle shifters are decently responsive. All right, on the scan on this vehicle for this PPI, we did find quite a few things. So I'll go ahead and show you guys. So we do a full topology report on the whole vehicle. So we'll show all the modules on this Altel Ultra S2 that I use on these. So we got all the different modules that are communicating. You have quite a few that are throwing faults. So if we go here, a few that I'm concerned about. Evap leak on the vehicle. It is showing passive and sporadic. So it's not throwing an active check engine light, but if you were to get emissions, that could be a potential problem. Aside from that, the park brake voltage supply open circuit and the right and left. So we got stored codes for those. I am assuming on that someone probably did the rear brakes on this and just sent voltage to the actual brake caliper to release the electronic parking brake instead of doing it the right way, just through a scanner like I would do with this. The actual communication for the emergency call, that system isn't being paid for, so that makes sense why that's there. Now this one is the main one that I am concerned about on this vehicle. So front left bass speaker open circuit and front right bass speaker open circuit. Now when I listened to the stereo in this thing, it did sound quite a bit like the music was coming from the rear of the car over the front of the car, and primarily bass. So the front had really high mid-range, really high top range, and so I think the tweeters and mid-range speakers are working fine up front, but the bass seemed very, very off. It sounds very clearly like it's coming from the trunk, like you just installed an aftermarket sub, and that is my assumption what's going on. Both of those speakers have an open circuit, so definitely something for the customer to look into if they're going to purchase this vehicle, and let them know that we probably need to be looking into what's going on with the stereo if they want that quality to sound a little better. All right, guys, that is going to be it. So we have a few faults on here I'll discuss with the customer, but overall no serious faults going on. A few suspension things, a few nicks and scratches around the car. Overall pretty clean. I will let them know and get some negotiating factors for them on the vehicle, but we are looking pretty good on this one. So comment, like, subscribe. Let me know anything else you guys want to see on the channel. Peace.